What's up, guys? So a question I've been getting a lot is how many carbs do I eat? Again, what I do isn't necessarily going to work for you because there is a tremendous amount of variability when it comes to genetics and your response to particular macronutrients and, of course, your response to exercise. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do and I'm going to tell you why. So every single morning, my breakfast is pretty simple. I'll wake up at about 7. I won't eat anything till maybe 11. And it's generally just a couple bananas. And the reason is there's a decent amount of micronutrients in these, and it's very quick glucose. So this is something I'm gonna wanna eat, or that I will eat, probably about 30 minutes, maybe an hour before a workout. And the reason is gonna get something in your stomach so you don't upset your stomach and you avoid a blood sugar dip. But if you're properly conditioned metabolically, you shouldn't get a blood sugar dip. But just to be safe, a couple of these for some glucose, and also it's enough to fuel the workout. Then after the workout, my lunch is almost the same every single day. So what it is, it's a cup dry of white rice. So just fill one of these suckers, pop it in the rice cooker, 2 cups of water with that, flick it on, and wait. So 1 cup dry comes out to be about 600 to 650 calories and about 140 to 160 grams of carbs. That's a lot. So what I do isn't necessarily going to work for you. This is a lot of carbs. Sometimes I'll actually repeat this for dinner. A lot of the times I won't do rice again for dinner. I'll do something like a sweet potato. But again, my daily carb intake is probably in the neighborhood of 300 grams, especially on training days. I replenish a lot of the glycogen. So if you're more of a hard gainer and your ultimate goal is just put on weight, put on muscle tissue, this is a good approach for you. But if your goal is body recomposition, meaning you want to lose fat tissue, probably not a good idea. You're going to want to go a little bit lower carb. But this is what I do almost on a daily basis. Right now I'm about 5'11", 210 to 213 pounds. But again, I stay relatively lean. So if you put on fat quickly, I would not do this. If by emulating what I do doesn't mean you're going to get my physique. Again, there's a huge amount of genetic variability in this. So you need to kind of trial and error your carb intake and see what works for you. If you put on fat really quickly, say you're eating this many carbs, you're starting to put on fat, back off a little bit. So I'm just showing you what I do based on the requests and the people want to know. But the truth is, I wouldn't recommend exactly what I do because you're not me. When it comes to the protein, generally I combine this with about 3/4 of a pound to a pound of ground turkey, or about 3/4 to a pound to a 1 pound chicken breast. This I will repeat at night. So I will have this for lunch and for dinner. So that's going to be maybe 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of animal protein every day. And that's going to hit your protein requirement. If you can eat 2 of these suckers a day, you're going to probably hit your protein requirement. It's not that hard. There's no need for protein shakes on top of that. So that's kind of what the meal looks like. Again, I keep it really simple. I don't really put anything else on there, in there, whatever. Maybe I'll throw a little bit of McCormick seasoning in there, but pretty simple. If you want to optimize your results from exercise, your diet's probably going to be pretty boring. That's the truth. So as long as you can tolerate this, it's really not that bad, and your results are going to speak for themselves afterwards. Another thing, people have a hard time with this. It's important. It's not as important. It's water intake. All right. So I have a lot of clients that say, what's your diet look like? And say, well, I drink a lot of water. Okay. More water it's not going to, get you in better shape quicker. Again, more is not better when it comes to anything. But in terms of water, I would recommend, so there's basically what I drink. I probably drink about 4 of these a day. And this is about 32 ounces. So 64, 128 ounces of water a day is generally what I drink. In Florida, it's pretty darn hot. Sometimes I'll drink more than that sometimes. What else I throw in there is I get these little Propel packets for electrolytes. Especially if you're training especially live in a hot climate like I do, electrolytes very important because you're sweating. Electrolytes are crucial for allowing your muscles to be able to contract. Electrolytes, they help, the contractile process of your muscles. So if you're sweating a lot, or if you're very active or you're training, electrolytes, and throwing these in. The reason I choose these is because there's no sugar in these. I believe. No sugar in these. The problem with Gatorade and Powerade is there are a ton of sugar in them. And I like to take care of my teeth. And if you're drinking a lot of Powerade and Gatorade and these sugary electrolyte drinks, they're gonna rot your teeth out. So this is a way better idea, plus it's no sugar, no calories. So white rice, bananas in the morning, electrolyte packets throughout the day, 128 fluid ounces of water, about 2 grams of animal protein. That's my diet, and it doesn't really get any different than that. So if you like this diet approach and you would like me to help you dial it in for you, email me. I'm gonna put my email at the bottom here. I do conduct private coaching in which we'll work on it together on your basic, specific situation. But do not follow this at face value thinking it's gonna give you my results, because there are genetic predispositions that we're going to have to explore before we start saying how many carbs, how many protein, how much this, how much that you're gonna need. So this is my diet. If you want help on your diet, email me, biofitny@gmail.com. We can work together. I'm taking on a couple of coaching clients, and we'll dial it in for you. But this is just what I do. And again, I can't reiterate it enough. Don't just jump into doing this and expecting you're gonna see my results, but because there is interest, this is what I do. I'm gonna do another video on protein intake, and in my private Patreon group, I'm gonna literally show you guys how I cook this meal and how simple and fast it is. Because a lot of people don't diet because they say they don't have time. This whole meal probably takes me 10, 15 minutes absolute tops. Okay, so the time commitment is very low. Follow me on Instagram, J__Vincent. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell notification icon, because there is a lot of content regarding exercise physiology and science and nutrition science, training application coming up soon. See you guys after.